If you've recently upgraded to Proxmox VE 9.2% or you're planning to deploy it soon, there are several new features you should know about because some of them can completely change how you manage your cluster. In this video, we're going to take a look at the most important additions in Proxmox VE 9.2, where to find them, and why they matter in a real-world environment. Let's start inside the Proxmox web interface. Once you're logged in, look over to the left side and select Data Center. One of the biggest additions in this release is the new dynamic load balancer. If you're managing multiple nodes, you'll know that workloads don't always stay evenly distributed. Sometimes one node becomes heavily loaded while another sits mostly idle. The new scheduler helps solve that problem automatically. As you explore the cluster settings, you'll find options related to resource scheduling and balancing. What Proxmox is doing behind the scenes is monitoring resource usage across all nodes in real time. Instead of relying entirely on manual decisions, the scheduler can intelligently determine where virtual machines should run based on current cluster conditions. The result is a more balanced environment and better utilization of available resources. If high availability is enabled in your cluster, you'll notice another major improvement. Navigate to the high availability section. Proxmox 9.2 introduces better control during maintenance operations. This is something administrators have wanted for a long time. Take a look at the new options available when managing HA resources. You'll now find controls that allow you to temporarily suspend high availability management during maintenance. The first option is freeze mode. When freeze mode is enabled, high availability keeps guest states exactly as they are. No automatic actions are performed. The second option is ignore mode. This temporarily bypasses high availability restrictions, allowing maintenance tasks to be completed without HA interfering. This is particularly useful when upgrading hardware, replacing components, or performing cluster-wide maintenance. Once maintenance is complete, simply re-enable high availability management and the cluster resumes normal operation. And let's look at another feature virtualization administrators are going to appreciate. From the data center view, open the CPU configuration section. Proxmox VE 9.2% now allows custom CPU models directly from the web interface. Previously, this type of configuration often required additional manual work. Now everything can be managed through the graphical interface. As you browse the available CPU options, notice the processor flags being displayed. These flags show which CPU features are supported by each node in the cluster. This makes it much easier to identify compatibility issues before deploying virtual machines. If you're running live migrations between nodes, this feature can save a lot of troubleshooting later. Next, let's move into networking because Proxmox 9.2% introduces one of the most exciting additions in this release. Open the software-defined networking section, then navigate to fabrics. When creating a new fabric, you'll notice a new option called WireGuard. WireGuard is a modern VPN protocol designed to be both fast and secure. In Proxmox VE, it can now be used as a native fabric protocol for communication between cluster nodes. This becomes especially valuable when nodes are located in different physical locations or connected through networks that cannot be fully trusted. One thing you'll appreciate is that Proxmox automatically handles key distribution throughout the cluster. That means less manual configuration and fewer opportunities for mistakes. While we're still in the fabric section, look at another new addition. You'll now find support for BGP-based fabrics. This feature is aimed at administrators building more advanced network topologies. When configuring BGP fabrics, you'll notice support for route maps and prefix lists. Route maps allow you to inspect routes and apply specific policies before they're advertised. Prefix lists provide precise control over which network prefixes are accepted or distributed. Together, these tools give administrators much finer control over routing behavior throughout the environment. Now let's talk about storage. If you're deploying a new Ceph cluster, Proxmox VE 9.2% now includes full support for Ceph Tentacle. Navigate to the Cephation section. Whether you're using the web interface or command line, you'll notice that Ceph 22% codename Tentacle is now the default version for new deployments. This gives you access to the latest Ceph improvements without requiring additional configuration. Finally, let's look at what's happening underneath the hood. Open the node summary page and review the platform information. Proxmox VE 9.2 is now built on Debian 13, codename Trixie. It also includes several major component upgrades across the virtualization stack. This release ships with Linux kernel 7 as the default kernel, QEMU 11 for virtual machines, LXC 7 for containers, OpenCFS 2.4% for storage, and Ceph Tentacle 24 support, performance, stability, and long-term compatibility across the platform. Overall, Proxmox VE 92% is update. The new load balancer, improved high availability controls, native WireGuard support, advanced BGP networking capabilities, cluster-wide CPU management, and updated platform components make this one of the most feature-rich Proxmox releases we've seen in a while. If you're already running Proxmox, this update is definitely worth exploring. And if you're just getting started with virtualization, these new features make Proxmox an even more powerful platform to learn and build on. In the next video, we'll dive deeper into one of these new features and configure it step by step inside a live Proxmox environment.